Morning. Today we have another flying day, and today we have wind from north, which means we have Mistral. I'm quite nervous because of the turbulences. So we're heading to briefing. Let's see if we can make Klaus have a little interview with us, and I'm gonna ask him about the weather and maybe he can give me a recommendation where to fly with the LS4 today.
Die Thermik, dass man auch Hangfliegen kann. Mal gucken, wie das in der Höhe aussieht.
So now I'm sitting here with Klaus Ohlmann. You might have heard his name. Klaus, usually you're flying here. Can you tell me a bit more about the weather today and where I should go to with the LS4?
Yeah, today we have a quite typical situation that we have here in southern France. More or less whole Europe is under cloud cover, and due to the wind situation that we have here, we have a northwestern wind. Today Mistral situation, which is not real Mistral situation. In higher altitudes, 5,500 meters, we have still a little bit southwestern wind, so it's not a real wave situation, but we have low level waves, rotor situation, we have thermals at the same time, and this is a quite fantastic mix to learn about how to fly in the mountains, because we have the possibility of ridge soaring, we have little waves as well, and we have this mix up with the thermals. But as we saw in the forecast, we have up to 3,000 meters, probably cloud base. Hopefully it's like that. Forecast is forecast. We have always to adapt.
Exactly. So when I came here, I was quite worried that I would be on my own with the LS4 flying in the club class. Everyone here has a Ventus or a Discus 2CT or even bigger planes. So you told me that you flew here with an ASW20, which calms me a little because I'm not that lost with the LS4, and I'm gonna make small steps in the beginning. I'm gonna start with a ridge flight. I'm gonna try to catch a wave. You told us about two main locations for wave possibilities. Which one would you say is the most probable one?
The first thing is usually we are starting in ridge soaring, so we have our Alhambra here. And so this is this beautiful mountain here south of our airfield, where we make our aerotow, and that is as well always the point where you can recover. If ever you try something, it does not work, you should always have a concept to take a point where you can restart and okay, that does not work, we'll try something else. Or try it again a little bit higher. Sometimes 100 meters
make a huge difference in the mountains. Yeah.
That's very important. These ridges I call ridge to recover, and there are a lot of ridges here to recover, to get back in the altitude, but for me a recover ridge is one where I can land.
That's a very important point, and I want to stress this. And so I'm gonna go to Alhambra.
Yes. And what you can do next, so when you're going, you're deciding to go to the south. Of course, for a real beginner, probably it's better to stay in the basin, because when you're going to the south, you have to come back against the wind.
Yes.
It's always easy to go with the wind. But what we have here, this Alhambra, let's say you make 1,600 meters, then you can go behind the Alhambra, where is the next ridge, the Montsaint-Génie, or the bath tube. You say.
Yes, it looks like a bath tube, that's
Yeah.
why.
So that is the next step that you can do. We saw in the forecast from the measurement points 𝗗𝗂𝘀𝗃𝘀𝗀, which is the next south, a little bit south-southwest. So there's these 1,100 meters. You should arrive at 1,100 meters, because if you are below, this is a more steep ridge. If you are below, then you have turbulence zones below, and probably does not really work.
Okay, yes.
So it's important. That's the same thing if you cross later than Valley of the Durance, south of Sisteron. There's a mountain, beautiful mountain, which is 𝗗𝗂𝘀𝗃, and it's very flat in 1,100 meters. So if you're 1,150 meters, and there are power lines, going parallel.
Oh.
If you are 50 meters higher, you get the lift without any problem. If you are this flat ground, you see the power lines, and it's not very funny.
So that's the huge difference between flatland flying and mountain flying.
Yes.
The 50 meters make a major difference.
Yes.
And they decide whether you can continue the flight or if you will land out or have to go another way.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can tell on my nose I've got a little bit of sunscreen to prevent sunburn. I'm so hyped for the flight after this interview. Klaus gave me really deep insight and I have a concrete plan where I want to go. And the weather is becoming better and better. The cloud base is increasing and the others are already waiting in the grid. I'm still not prepared. I have to remove the cloud dancer covers and then I will be ready for my pre-flight check and we're gonna go up in the air. Cloud dancers are already dry. It's freezing. Ah! Düse ist eingesteckt, Logger ist eingeschalten vom Frequenzswitch. Okay.
So this is this beautiful mountain here south of our airfield where we make our aerotow, and that is as well always the point where you can recover. If ever you try something, it does not work, you should always have a concept to take a point where you can restart and okay, that does not work, so try something else. Or try it again a little bit higher. Sometimes 100 meters
make a huge difference in the mountains. Yeah.
That's very important. These ridges I call ridge to recover, and there are a lot of ridges here to recover.
The idea of you listening to them, the thought of you on the other side of the line. I can't hang up. I don't want this to end. Not again. I don't know if you miss me too, but I hope you do.
Irgendwie vorhin in so einem hässlichen Feld umgezogen. Jetzt habe ich überall so Grasstoppeln in der Hose.
Wo warst
Da, keine Ahnung, da hinter dem Auto. Ich müsste halt eigentlich vorher mit Benny und so sprechen und fragen, was die heute planen, bevor ich irgendwas in der Kamera abführe, weißt du? Yeah, that's because of the wind there will be more turbulence. Ach, fuck, mein Englisch. Ja, ich weiß gar nicht, was ich sagen soll, ich muss das überlegen.
Bleib ein.
Ich muss mal ganz kurz organisierter werden. Jawohl. Das war vielleicht nicht so schlau, wenn die Flächenstütze noch drunter ist.
How it is English? Auffanghang.
Catching